Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for watching Network 27. I'm Alderman Walter Burnett, Alderman of the 27th Ward. I'd like to thank everyone for watching the show. I'd like to thank all of the people who are helping us to put the show together. Of course, we want to thank God. As you all know, Network 27 is a show that we've been doing for over 20 years. We try to bring information and resources to the community, get you all to meet folks that's in the neighborhood. We come on every second and fourth Monday at 9 p.m. on CAN TV. It varies on different channels. So we just got past, a lot of things. As you know, an election is going on right now. I'm running. Hopefully by the time you see this show, you all would have voted for me again and I'll be reelected, or this may be right before it. So if you didn't already, I appreciate your support. We thank God for the opportunity to serve you, and we hope that you will continue to allow us to do so. We have today some special guests, as always. We actually have an organization that's very near and dear to my heart, organization that helps a lot of people in our community, and true believers of God that help our neighborhood. It's an organization called Breakthrough Ministry. And I'm going to allow them, because I can tell you a lot that I know about Breakthrough Ministry, but I'm going to allow the guests to tell you about Breakthrough Ministry. But also, before I do that, why don't we introduce them? First, we have DeMyron.
Yes,
okay, sorry,
yes.
DeMyron
Haynes.
Mm-hmm. He's the Associate Director of the Nettie Bailey Student Achievement Program at Breakthrough Ministry, which is an after-school program at one of their buildings. And then we have Damien Morris. And your title again, Damien?
I do outreach. I'm an outreach coordinator / case manager for violence prevention.
Okay, fantastic. And then also last, but we always say the best for last.
Oh boy.
Wendy Daniels. And Wendy is the Fresh Market Coordinator.
Yes.
All right, so there's a whole bunch of stuff going on with Breakthrough, right? Y'all do a lot of stuff, right? So why don't somebody start out by giving us the history of Breakthrough Ministry and tell folks who Breakthrough Ministry is, and then y'all can break off to your different functions that you all operate in Breakthrough Ministry. But also, whoever does that, tell us about yourself first. Who are you? And what certify you to be a person we should listen to? Okay?
Absolutely.
Well, I guess I'll start off. Like you said before, my name is Damien. I've been employed with Breakthrough for 11 years now. And so what I started off doing, I started off being a program assistant. And what that means is that during the daytime, our guests come in from 9 to 3. I assist them with whatever needs that they have. And it may be clothes, food, placement in the bed, in our bedding area, just to get on our waiting list to receive other services that we do provide. And so I take them through those steps right there. And then also I have, over the course of the years, I've been a dwelling place assistant as well. And so that title is for the guys that already have beds here. So we have like 30 men that we housed. So during the evening, what I do is I give them bed placement, I give them toiletries, I give them sheets, blankets, pillowcases, things of that nature. And then I'll take them through what we call an individual service plan. Each guy that I come across, I may have like 6 guys that I'm assigned to. And so I walk them through those steps like, hey, okay, after Breakthrough, then what are your steps?
All right, so I wanted to just know about you.
Okay.
Did you grow up in Chicago?
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
What's your education? All that
Okay.
stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
So, born and raised on the west side of Chicago. Grew up in North Lawndale area. Went to school in Westinghouse, and then also I have some college from Harold Washington and Malcolm X as well.
Fantastic. So now tell us a little history about Breakthrough.
Okay, so Breakthrough been in existence for going on 26 years now. So it started off as a storefront up north, and Arloa, which is the executive director, she had a vision of just using coffee and, you know, like danishes or whatever to just bring in some of the men so that she can fellowship with them.
So homeless men? Or?
Yes, homeless men and women. So, and then that vision actually turned into something much more. So and by doing so, she ended up getting more men inside the building that the building couldn't hold. So she was blessed to start Breakthrough out west, and then she started out in our women's center. And so that's been in existence since '92.
Where's your women's center?
It's located 3330 West Carroll.
Okay. And then what?
And then after the women's center, then our men's center came into existence in 2007.
And where is that?
402 North St. Louis.
Okay. And then?
And then after that, then we had our Fresh Market, which was still in the men's center as well, but then they branched out, and then now they share a building with the women's center, and that's located 3334 West Carroll.
All right, and Wendy's going to tell us more about the
Yes,
Fresh
she
Market.
will. Yes.
And then what happened?
And then what we did was we prayed over a vacant lot. All the staff, we had them to come over there in the vacant lot, which is located now 3219 West Carroll. And we prayed, we formed a circle, and we prayed over that because we wanted that to become the family plex. That vision was not breakthroughs, but we used the youth to come up with an idea of what they would like for the building to become. And so, lo and behold, we had a groundbreaking. Now we have the family plex now.
So you have 3 centers.
Yes.
3 or 4, almost 4 buildings
Yes.
now. So she started out at a little storefront, giving out coffee to guys, came up with this idea. Aloy is a Christian,
Yes.
right? A
Yes.
strong believer in God, and other God folks felt her spirit and came around and helped her out. And mostly everything that y'all do and what's going on with your helping folks, a lot of things come from philanthropic Christians given to you all.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. So you say you mostly deal with so when you say you deal with the violence prevention?
Yes.
So is that sort of like ceasefire?
It's somewhat like that, but now what we're doing is we're trying to professionalize the work that we do in violence prevention. So there's training that we take on now. It's a 16-week training that we have, and then we get our certificate at the end of the training, and then we also turn into facilitators too. So we teach others how to go out and do outreach work.
So you go and outreach people who may be borderline or involved in criminal activity.
Yes.
And you try to get them to change their lives.
Yes.
Do you go out and try to stop any violence from going on? You try to stop them from hurting each other?
Yes, and we call that mediations. What we try to do is we try to get connected with somebody that they may listen to, and what we try to do is we try to get them to the table and just see how we can get them to resolve it. Because sometimes the issues be real minor and then they turn into something major.
So you all get folks who have a testimony, huh? People who may have been involved in criminal activity in the past themselves, or what we would say have street credit, huh?
Yes.
Some guys who have street credit that the kids would listen to, the young folks would listen to, and try to stop them from harming each other, right?
Yes.
So then do you all try to bring them to God too, or?
We try to, initially, we don't just jump into that because, you know, sometimes it'll turn them away.
Right.
So what we try to do is we try to listen to them and see what it is that they need help with, assistance with, and then we work on that. And then when we do build that relationship with them, then we try to ease the God into that.
So do you turn a lot of guys around?
It's challenging, to be honest with you. It's challenging because most of the time they will come to you when they're already in like deep water, like they in deep trouble, you know. But when we try to prevent it, so we try to go on the streets and talk to them ahead of time And they'll be like, oh, I'm cool right now, I'm cool. But then when they get into some trouble, hey, you still provide services, you still help, you know. So we run into things like that. But we've been successful though with those who do.
You help a lot of guys who may have been in trouble, they come home and they need help?
Yes.
So you help a lot of those guys too?
Yes, and juveniles too. We work with juveniles.
A lot
as
of
well.
juveniles do the detention centers?
Yes, through referrals, because we've been doing pretty good with the juveniles, so they've been referring more juveniles to us.
Fantastic. So most of those things that you do that over at the Family Center?
No, we do it right here in this building.
So you do that here?
Yes.
So you have, okay, so that's in this building?
Yes.
So in this building, and when we say this building, we're in the building on St. Louis?
Yes, 402
right?
North St. Louis.
402 North St. Louis. So you do the prevention where you try to mentor guys and encourage them to not be involved in violent activity and what have you, and give them other alternatives.
Yes.
But also in this same building, you all have a transitional house, what you call it?
Yes, we do. Yes.
And how does the transitional house work?
Okay, so transitional housing work like this. A gentleman will come in.
And this is only for men in here?
Yes, only for men here. A gentleman will come in and say that he wants to get a bed within our transitional program. It's a 4-month program, but they get evaluated every 30 days to just make sure that they're staying on top of the things that they need to do. So that may be looking for employment, actively looking for employment, seeking housing, following up with their individual service plan. And so every 30 days, the case manager, they will have a case manager. The case manager will sit down with them and go over that. If they are meeting those requirements, then they get an extension. The hope is for them to get employment. We don't charge them rent, save up money, and then with the case manager's help them find housing as well.
Outside of the ones who get the extension, you do have some folks who just come here on a day-by-day basis?
Yes, up to like 65 men
come every night
on a daily.
And you let them sleep, you give them let them take showers, all that stuff, right? So,
and during the daytime, it's up to 65 men from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. But then after, from 3 to 11, those are, we house 30 men in our beds. So we have 30 beds available for them. And so that's already in our system right there, and those are the 30 who's in our transitional housing right there.
Okay, fantastic. So when they come here, you all get them packages, right? They get like soap, toothpaste.
Yes, breakfast and lunch. They can take a shower, they can wash clothes. We have a clothing closet, they can get clothes as well. We do have a good donation, so maybe something in there for them. And then also what I do is I provide haircuts for them too.
You cut hair?
Yes.
Man, I should have saw you for I can't even
Yes. So I do that as well for them. So.
All right, good deal. So, well, thank God for that. And most of those things you all do offer donations.
Yes.
Right? And a lot of the people, some people work here, but you also have people who come and volunteer. I know people volunteer to do the feeding every day, right?
Yes.
So where do your volunteers come from?
All over. They actually believe in the work that we do. They actually see the work that we do, so that helps them. It helps them want to volunteer more because you just can't say what you do, but it actually have to be some action behind it. And so with our volunteers, they see with their own eyes and they want to be a part of that, and so that makes it even better. One
of the things that I noticed that you all have is you get a guy's lockers.
Yes.
So when they come here at night or in daytime, they want to stay, they have their own locker to put their stuff.
Yes, and it's assigned to their bed number.
Right, because I know the guys who are homeless, just like the guys, unfortunately, who sleep on the street, carry all their belongings with them.
Yes.
And they won't go in a place because they can't take their belongings in there with them. So they stay outside because all their belongings are outside.
Yes.
Right? So you all get them a place to put their belongings while they're with you.
Yes, and I mean, that's kind of like traumatizing too. So what we're another thing that we're proud of, we try to be trauma informed as much as possible. So those are one of the things that we try to eliminate, so that they do come in
and not have trauma.
Yes.
Because some guys may have mental challenges and what
Yes.
have you, for whatever reason. Right. Well, praise God. Well, that's great, man. Well, thank you for your service in 11 years, man.
No problem at all.
That's a
Thank
lot of
you.
time, you
Yes.
know. And it look like you've been buffing up, man. You know, you got to look, you know, you got to look that way to make sure you get that street credit too.
No. That's my my self-care activity. Like,
I feel you. Well, that's good. I used to be like that, you know, back in the day. But anyway, all right. Wendy.
Yes.
So Wendy, so he spoke about the fresh market.
No, he spoke about, I'm the fresh market.
He spoke about the fresh. He mentioned this fresh market, right? So why don't you tell us about the fresh market,
Absolutely.
where it is, and how does that work?
Okay, absolutely. First and
And
foremost.
tell us who you are.
Okay. And thank you for having me today.
you're
It is an honor and a privilege for sure. My name is Wendy Daniels, and I have been at Breakthrough for just a little bit over a year. I am a married mom of 5. I live in the Austin community. Grew up on the west side of Chicago. All of my life I've either been in North Lawndale, Austin, East Garfield Park, sort of a little bit of a circle. Went to Lane Tech High School, Columbia College, and so I'm a native West Sider, true to the West Side. And so Breakthrough, I have been volunteering here for quite some time. My husband works for Breakthrough as well. And like I said, I've been here a little bit over a year, but not new to Breakthrough.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So tell us what happens at the fresh market.
Okay. So the fresh market, as we call it here at Breakthrough, is actually a food pantry. And the fresh market is a choice pantry in which the residents of East Garfield Park can come and shop for the groceries that they need. We are open 3 days a week for families that can come once a month. We also have a fresh produce day, which is every 4th Tuesday of the month, and guests can come and shop at that as well. So our guests actually get the opportunity to come to the fresh market twice. Though all of the fresh market items that guests are able to come are absolutely free. It is a pantry, however, when we coined that phrase fresh market, we like our guests to feel a little bit different when they come to the fresh market. There's a little bit of a stigma when you go to a food pantry. Nobody really wants to go to a food pantry. Sometimes there's embarrassment behind it, but people love to come to the fresh market. We try to create a very dignified experience. Our guests are issued shopping carts, and we don't bag up the items for them. They get to choose all the items that they would like, with some limits that we put on the items, of course, just so we have enough to give to as many families that come. And so all of the goods that we get at the fresh market are 100% donated. Most of those items come from the Greater Chicago Food Depository. I would probably say about 92%. And then the other 8% from individual donors, churches, families, farms, etc. And so we have fresh produce, we have shelf-stable items, we have laundry detergent, we have diapers, you name it. It's almost like going to Jewel. So it's a really cool experience, and it's for any family that is in need. We specifically service East Garfield Park, so we cover 2 zip code areas, but of course we don't turn anyone away.
So when you say 2 zip code areas, what you mean? What's the 2 zip code areas?
So those 2 zip code areas are 60624 and 60612, and that is specifically East Garfield Park. And so when I say that, definitely because Breakthrough is housed in East Garfield Park, we definitely want to take care of the community residents first. So those are our parameters in which we operate. However, we do get guests that are experiencing homelessness, and we get guests from other zip code areas that are in need. And so we do allow those guests to come as well, specifically those that are outside of our service area. Quarterly, throughout the year, but then we also give them resources for pantries that are in their area.
Mm-hmm. And I know with the food depository, because my church does food with the food depository, they get food, but everybody who do food with the food depository, you do have to give them a stipend in order to get the food, right? They don't give you all the food for free. You have to give them something.
What do you mean, the guests or?
No, the
food depository.
The folks who gets the food from the food depository. So I don't know, you may not know that. I think because people don't give a donation to the food depository and they give them the free food to pass out.
Right. So I think how it works is, like exactly what you said, those individuals, stores, donors, give that to the food depository. We in turn get it from the food depository. We have certain systems in place where we sort of do something to get something. Like we participate in the hunger walk.
Oh, so y'all
every
do
year.
the hunger walk to get it. Okay, yeah, I know some people volunteer. Some people just give a couple of dollars to get some food, which is good. I mean, is for what they get is like 100 times for what you pay for, because it's really a donation. But that's how they survive too.
Absolutely.
Right? So praise God for that. So what's that address again over there?
The address to the food pantry is 3334 West Carroll.
Okay, and you say that you can just come in and shop, but there's certain days that they do that, right? And what are those days again?
So the food pantry is open on Tuesdays from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay.
Then we're open on Thursdays from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m.
Okay.
And then Saturdays from 10 a.m. until noon. And so families can come.
So they don't have to be registered, they don't have to be on the list, they just come.
No, sir. So if you come and you say you need, we will provide a service for you.
Why would people around here be hungry then? Everybody can get some food.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And you don't turn anyone away.
Absolutely not.
Praise God, that's great. So next door to the food depository is
the Women's Center, our women's shelter. Yes.
So it used to be before the food depository opened up, before you got the building, it used to just be the women's shelter,
Yes.
or was that part the women's shelter too?
So that building was housed there, and I think it was owned by a local church that's on the block.
Right.
And
Reverend White's church, right?
Pastor White's.
Pastor
It
White.
used to be called the Joshua Center.
Joshua
I know
Center,
that.
right.
And so also housed in that same women's center was some of our youth programming. So
Right.
upstairs.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was the.
So I always thought that was Reverend White's youth center. Okay, that's funny, because it was in this church.
Yeah.
Right.
So actually, the youth, some youth programming was upstairs, as well as some fitness facilities, which kind of lends over to you at the Familyplex. And so once that grew, and like Damien said, as they were praying over that space and asking God, like, what could come of this, right? I think we were busting out at the seams at the Joshua Center, right above the women's shelter. And so then all of those programs then got moved down to the Familyplex, which is now the big state-of-the-art building that we have at Kedzie and Carroll.
Oh, praise God. So next door where the women are, does that program work the same as it work over here?
It works, absolutely, it works the same, yes. And so
the women's center started first.
Yes.
Right? So they kind of broke the mold right there. Right. So because you got this new building and the brothers got this nice enhancement over here, did y'all enhance anything over at the Women's Center?
Oh, yes.
Okay, because I haven't been there in a while since they got this. Okay, so they got updated and everything else. And
yeah, absolutely. And then there's a second level facility at the Women's Center where we have a meditation room.
Oh, so now they got a second level. Wow. Okay.
Yes. There's
a meditation room.
Yes.
So why you all don't have a meditation room for the brothers?
I don't know. That's a good question. Well, maybe they meditate in their own space. You know, women, we like
and
all of the
don't
bells and
talk,
whistles.
Right?
Yes, you know, we need the candles, the flowers, we need the whole nine.
All right. That's good.
Yeah, and so then there's also a couple of conference rooms up there where we have classes for the women as well, some Bible studies, just some enrichment things going on. And so it operates exactly like the men's center, except it's women.
And then you all do the job placement, job training, all of those things. You have some women who you have the 4-month thing, right?
Yes.
And the graduating thing, but you also have the overnight thing if they just come for a night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they do have like 2 emergency beds
At the Women's
available at the Women's Center and the Men's Center. So yes.
So if somebody came in real cold, they can just pop in here and lay their head down.
Yeah.
And so do the Women's Center have lockers now too?
They do. And then also, I know Damien spoke about the clothing closet at the Men's Center. Well, the women have a boutique.
Come on, man, what's wrong with that?
We're fancy. We're fancy over there. And so it is a really nice boutique, and it is really set up that way. And so women can go up and they can receive clothes for interviews.
That's great.
It's really, really nice, yeah. And we have just a slew of volunteers that come in and also help to manage those areas and make them nice.
Yeah. Give them makeup and all that stuff and deal with their hair.
Yeah, we've
like
had.
he cut hair, somebody do something.
We've
on it.
actually had, I don't think there's a person on site that does that, but at the Women's Center there have been volunteers that create spa days for the women where they come in,
Spa
get the
days.
women, yeah.
Do they do spa days for the brothers?
That would be
No,
Damien. Damien is the spa day for the brothers.
It's a haircut, that's it.
Just a haircut. There's ain't nobody doing their feet or nothing.
No toes.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Wendy. So, DeMyron. DeMyron. I'm sorry.
It's all
So
good.
DeMyron. So you're over. You do the after-school program. So
Yes, sir.
tell us about yourself and tell us about the program.
Oh yeah, so I am originally a Louisiana native.
Louisiana, you don't have an accent, man.
I don't. It goes in and out from North Louisiana has a little less accent. So,
Okay.
Born and raised in Shreveport, Louisiana. I moved to Chicago in 2012, 2013 for an internship, a year of service at Breakthrough Urban Ministries. Felt like it was something that I wanted to get involved with as a young adult in school at the time. So that brought me to Chicago, and then I got connected to Breakthrough for a year of service and then joined staff working in there. The after-school program, mainly overseeing the 6th through 8th grade classroom, and then through that became the director of the after-school program about 7 months ago. But the after-school program, it's called the Nettie Bailey Student Achievement Program. So Nettie Bailey was a East Garfield Park community resident, and we named the program after her because she was a mentor for the people who originally started Breakthrough, and she was also a passionate teacher who loved the Lord, but who demanded that her students didn't have to leave her neighborhood to have a quality education. So we found that through her resilience, her legacy, we wanted to follow suit. And the after-school program to this day has that same passion, that we don't believe that any of our students should have to leave the neighborhood to be supported holistically. So the after-school program, we have kindergarten through K through 8th grade. So we serve about 175 students, 180 students. We opened up a 6th classroom just this week on Monday. And the students come in around 3 o'clock, 3:30, and they get situated in their classrooms. And then after that, the younger kids go downstairs and have a meal while the older kids begin to play in the gym. And then at around 4:15, 4:30, we flip-flop, and the students, older kids are eating, younger kids are playing in the gym, and then everyone goes up time for homework time. So one of the things that we want to do, we want to create a safe space for kids to be able to get their homework done. So we want to support what's going on at school, what's going on at home. And then after homework time, we have various enrichments. So some students could be taking, our younger kids from K through 3rd focus more so on literacy. So what we want to do is isolate that reading comprehension and literacy instruction at an early age. While our 4th through 8th grade, we want to focus starting on leadership, character development, and student choice. So our K through 3rd are having literacy, while our 4th through 8th grade students are in what we call choice academies. So choice academies have, we pick about 7 different classes, like a menu of classes, and students are able to pick from those classes. So one student may be taking kickboxing, while another student could be doing cooking, and then another student's doing a creative writing class, while another student's in Bible study. So we open that up for our 4th through 8th grade students, so they have that choice to pick various things that they can do in the after school program. Those classes run for about 8 weeks, and then they rotate every 8 weeks. And then our other supplement classes will do like a social and emotional learning class where we want to teach students from K through 8th grade of how to process their emotions healthily with a caring adult or a group of adults. So in those, we're talking about issues of bullying. For the older kids, we're talking about relationships. It could be talking about peer relationships, relationships with staff, and various things like that. And then we have a teacher elective class. So each one of the staff in the after-school program, each has their own passions and desires. So some teacher may be teaching history while another teacher is teaching a beat-making class. So we want to do our best to incorporate our students of having a wide variety of activities. One of the things that we pride ourselves at Breakthrough, and then even specifically the after-school program, is something called the network model. So it's basically a LinkedIn for students. So students, we try to surround them with enough adult volunteers so that hopefully with those relationships, if there's a student 10 years down the line who needs an internship or who needs someone to write a reference for them, they have a person who's been invested of their life over a long haul. We try to partner with parents, schools, youth groups, people who work downtown, community residents. What we want to do is get all of those adults on the same page for the support of that student. So that's a little bit about the after-school program.
Fantastic. So I don't think you mentioned that you serve on a pastoral staff?
Yes, so I serve on the pastoral staff at Boulevard Presbyterian Church. It's a church plant that's in the Austin Oak Park area.
And you studied theology?
Mm-hmm. I studied theology for my undergrad. Currently, we'll be starting seminary pretty soon in the fall, well, in the spring.
Where are you going for seminary?
So right now I'll be at Midwestern Baptist Theological Seminary in Kansas City. I'll go distance education, mainly because I don't want to have to leave the environment I am to study theology. I want to learn it in the context of the community that I'm currently in.
Well, I know we shouldn't be talking about this on TV, but why did you choose that? Why you didn't go to a theology school here?
I think because initially it's also the place where I did my undergrad, so both.
So you're comfortable?
Comfortable, both scholarship opportunities, and it seems to be the best
said it all.
for my family.
That said it all right there, the scholarship.
Yes. and part of it, I'm really invested in the work I do at Breakthrough, and going to a traditional model in the city may cause me to have to divide that attention, which I don't really want to do right now.
So a couple of things. One thing I know Breakthrough is based on Christianity because, you know, Iola is Christian based, but, you know, she's not all that. She's just her, right? You know what I'm saying? She's not like, you know, going around, you know. So she just do what she do to help people and love folks, right?
Yes.
Right, and that's her strong belief is loving people and helping people, right? And she's not tied to any certain denomination or any of those, any of that stuff. It's just all about love and help, and you know, she's just straight up, right? And I know that you know, funny thing is, since Breakthrough has been around here, a lot of people, a lot of the Christian folks that's with Breakthrough, because most folks work with Breakthrough are Christians, right? Have moved around here, right? Because I know like Bill lived, you know, not too far from the center, and you know, I know you got some folks on Maple. Everywhere I go, I'm bumping heads to a Breakthrough person, right? And Breakthrough, I mean, I know the audience see you all. If they look at you all, they would think Breakthrough was just a black organization. It was just all African Americans working and volunteering with Breakthrough, but it's a very diverse organization. Matter of fact, I would venture to say it probably have more people that aren't African American working with Breakthrough and helping Breakthrough than African Americans, right?
I would say currently probably not. I think currently it's primarily probably, I would say about 60% of our staff is African American, give or take.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yep.
Well, there's a good mix. Now, I do know, so the Family Center, you said is located at 3219 on Fulton Street. And
Carroll, it's on Carroll.
On Carroll. And not only there do you have the gym, which you have some donations from the Cubs. You know, I know that and I always want to do this, right? Because I never could, you know, when I was a kid, I was able to get on the baseball team because, You know, my father was like the coach of the team, but I couldn't hit, right? So I always wanted to go through that baseball hitting cage. You all had a hitting cage over there that was donated by the Cubs. You mentioned that the kids cook, right? They can take cooking class. You all have a full kitchen there, and you also have food for sale. Right?
Yep. Yeah, so over in the Family Plex is our the Bridge Cafe. So the Bridge Cafe is right now currently open Monday through Thursday from 7:30 to about 5:30. They're open on select Wednesdays, depending on the things that are in the select weekends, depending on the events that are going on in the building. But there you can get a cup of coffee, you can get sandwiches, and one of the reasons we named it the Bridge is because we wanted to open up a space where community residents can just have a place just to hang out. So one of the things that if you go into the Family Plex, you'll see that it's there's all you from where you look in the cafe, you're able to look inside of the gym. And our intention for that was that a mom or a grandpa or a dad could enjoy a cup of coffee with their peers while watching their son or daughter play in the gym for whatever reason. And we wanted to create a space where older and younger generations were meshing together to both where it could be a place where new organizations are started or new community efforts are happening, but also just a place that's safe to hang out with your peers.
Good deal. So also in the Family Plex, you all have health equipment. People can work out.
Yep.
Right. So is that just for the kids? Or
So upstairs, if you walk in the Family Plex and go upstairs, we have a fitness center. So that is not for the kids. So we use that just for the community residents. What we wanted to do and are trying to do consistently is to encourage health in our community. So we have a partnership with Lawndale Christian Health Center. So we have an exam room clinic. So a person could theoretically go to the clinic and maybe hear like, hey, it might be time to tangibly think through some ways to get healthy. They can just go straight upstairs and enroll in their membership.
So you have a clinic. You have a clinic on the first floor.
Yes, it's a partnership. So
partnership with Lawndale. So as far as the health club goes, that's where you work out, man. That's where you get buffed up at the health club. So as far as the health club goes, for the community, do it cost them anything?
It does. The cost I think is around $10 a month. $10 a month.
$10 a month, such a deal. Such a deal. Only thing I wish y'all had a swimming pool, man. It'd be great. Yeah, we got to get a swimming pool over there. But $10.
Yes. When we asked the original students years ago about opening up the Family Plex, one of the big things was a pool on the roof.
Is that what they
yes,
wanted?
Unfortunately, we had to downsize a lot of things and safing some things up. But that was a desire in the beginning. Was a pool on the roof. So,
yeah. Okay.
In the winter of Chicago.
So it's $10 for a health club. That's sweet. So as far as the medical center goes, I know that the medical center not only give free health care, they also do dental work, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Through Lawndale, they do, not specifically at that location, but in their Lawndale location, and then they have a mobile facility that goes around and does dental work.
What about eyeglasses?
They have an eye class place in Lawndale by Ogden, down the street from their health clinic.
So y'all kind of allow people to commute to different ones? Because I know Lawndale has a great center over there, health club, clinic, whole 9 yards, kitchen, all that good stuff. You know?
Also, Alderman Burnett, if I can interject, I wanted to let you know that at the Men's and Women's Center, we also have doctors on site for our guests.
Oh, really?
As well as that mobile dental clinic that comes for free for all the guests at the Men and Women's
Center.
Center.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's good.
So they can get care, they can get, dental
you all are
checkups.
a holistic organization.
Holistic, absolutely.
You know, most of your funding comes from donations. Right? And you got to be blessed. You know, they said good trees bear good fruit, right? So that's a blessing to be able to. So how many staff people work for all these centers?
Yeah, so we have a little over 100 staff members.
Are you kidding me?
So we've grown in size tremendously over the last few years. And it's just been a joy to see various people from different avenues come serve and join alongside what's going on in East Garfield Park.
Yeah, one of the things that excites me. You know, like I've been to one of you all's fundraisers. I think it was like at the Hilton, some years ago, it was like at the Hilton by the airport or something. And it was humongous. I mean, y'all had that guy, Tony Perro, I think his name was Tony Perro. I ended up buying one of his CDs. Christian guy, good dynamic speaker,
Yeah.
right? And I went there, and it just made me feel like I had a humongous family. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because you go to you all's function, and there's so many Christians there that's just loving and giving and helping. You know, it's like you'd be like, wow, I didn't know it was so many of us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of us all over the city and the state. You know, it's just at times we come together, and that's one of the times that everybody come together and support this organization, and you all are blessed to do very well. So I know that Breakthrough right now is trying to do some other things. You know, Laura's constantly coming to see me about different things. She's trying to delve into one. She's looking to try to work with some guys, trying to build some houses and train guys how to build houses. And, you know, she's trying to do that. And, you know, she's constantly trying to do things to help people. You know, do you all know what else is on? I know this is just the beginning for Breakthrough, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me what else? Do you have any idea what else is on the agenda for you all? What else is God putting on you all to do around here?
Yeah, I would say at least from my perspective, one of the things we're also trying to do is solidifying and tighten up the things that we're doing here now. So one of the things we're trying to push is more volunteer involvement, specifically from the neighborhood. We want to increase the amount of volunteers that live in the community in our program. So whether that's volunteering in the Fresh Market or volunteering in the Men's Center, Women's Center, or even the after school program, we want to increase the amount of people, because as we grow, we're an organization that with 100 staff and with the amount of people we serve, there's still a lot of work to be done. So we right now are heavily pushing for more volunteers and recruiting volunteers, and would invite other people into that work with us.
So I also know, talking with Bill, I know that you all you don't just do things inside your building. You go out in the community too, right? You go to the schools and do things with the kids, right? So I know Bill go to Westinghouse, and he does things with kids at Westinghouse. He go to Beitler and do things with kids at Beitler. I know you all used to, before you even had that center, you were doing basketball tournaments and sports events, and you know, you didn't wait for a building, you was just doing it, right? And are you still doing those kind of things? Were you doing things outside too?
Oh yes, we still are. So specifically from the Familyplex, and this is connected to outreach, we have a summertime basketball tournament called Home Court, and that's generally we do that traveling at different parks. So it could be on Carroll Court, which is right down the street from here, or Nancy Jefferson Park, or even at the Familyplex. We try to have various events throughout the community, and then Damien knows a little bit more about CP4P and the things that they do there.
Yeah. And so, just to add to what he was saying, it's designed to kind of like get the community to take back their space. You know, when things happens in the community, a lot of people close their doors, lock their doors, make sure, and they just worry about themselves and whoever is in their immediate circle. Well, when we do like Home Court, we get the community to come out, games and stuff like that, and we get them, we just encourage them, hey, look, this is your space, own it. Like, we're gonna show you, we're gonna give you a blueprint on how to enjoy the space, but we want you all at some point to kind of like take over and start back doing block club parties and things of that nature, you know, so yes.
That's great. That's great. So what else is going on with Breakthrough? I think we got a couple of minutes left. Is there anything else you want the community to know about?
So I think specifically for the Fresh Market, just given the state of maybe Illinois, our country, so to speak. I know that the Fresh Market is definitely willing to open the doors. We do have those parameters, as I spoke of, the East Garfield Park, but we know that folks are hungry and are in need. And so we don't want families to feel like they can't come. And just with what is happening with, food stamp benefits for families and things like that, we definitely want them to know that the Fresh Market is a place that you can come and receive groceries from your family, no matter where you live. And it seems like we're kind of leaning toward that, some of those benefits are being cut for folks. When I speak to guests in the market, a lot of their benefits have been cut. And so we just want families to know from all over the city of Chicago that they can definitely come and receive the things that they need for their families at the Fresh Market.
Fantastic. So you kind of glazed over this a little bit. You was talking about the music room. Tell us more about the music room up in the building.
So at Breakthrough, we have a partnership with another organization who provides students from 3rd grade on up instruments to learn how to play. So just recently, probably about 3 weeks ago, we had an orchestra concert. So these students were able to put on a concert, and they had just started playing their instrument in September, late September. So they were able to all learn various musical instruments and to master them enough at this point in time to have a concert that was really excellent. So what we're trying to do is supplement various things that may not be able to be, may not happen in other areas for our students, and we want to have Breakthrough to be a spot or a place where they're able to partake in various activities that maybe other communities have and we don't have. So.
Do you do spoken word there?
A few times, every now and then, the Bridge Cafe in the past has done like a spoken word night. Then we'll have like for our arts and science programs, it'll be something like creative writing or just spoken word in general. So it kind of depends on the season. So currently at Breakthrough, we're enrolling for our winter programs, so whether that be a cooking class or the basketball teams or a dance team. So if you come by the Familyplex, you'll see various flyers, and they're constantly enrolling new students into those programs. The after school program's currently enrolling about 10 more students in the program, so if anyone's interested in getting involved in that way as well.
So does it cost to be an after school program?
It does cost, it's $25 a quarter, but a rule of thumb for us at Breakthrough, we don't want money to be a reason why no one comes. So each staff is more than willing to work with an individual in their specific situation.
So I'll be willing to, if somebody want to get into the after school program, I'll be willing to sponsor 10 kids.
Okay.
So if you got some kids who don't have no money, we can help out with that.
Perfect.
We do that with the Boys and Girls Club too. So if we can help with that, let us know.
Most definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Praise God, man.
I also think you guys cater to the seniors and the adults. You have classes for, I know there's sewing.
Oh,
And,
there's
Yes.
stuff for the seniors?
Yeah.
There is. So in our arts and science program.
Oh, so it's not just a children's place?
Oh, no. So,
no.
So you take care of the seniors too?
yeah, so throughout the day in various seasons in the Arts and Science Academy, Arts and Technology Academy, various seniors are able, there's like a sewing club, cooking classes for adults on weekends as well.
Cooking classes, I need that. But I'm scared if I go, my wife may start putting me to work.
Yeah. So what we try to do at the Familyplex, when we named it Familyplex, because we didn't want it to name it just a youth center, but it's something that we want it to be utilized throughout the day. So that's our goal.
Fantastic. So you do seniors, you do everybody. There's a lot of great things happening here. If people want to get involved and or donate to your organization, to Breakthrough Ministry, by volunteering or contributing, what would they do?
So they can reach out via breakthrough.org, and that's our website. The website just got just recently done, so it's a very clear layout. So if you want to volunteer, you'll look for the volunteer tab. If you're looking to donate, you can find somewhere on the website where it asks for specific donations and various things like that.
Is there a phone number?
The phone number for this building for Familyplex, it's 773-872-4400.
Yeah, and then the Fresh Market is the same, 872-4482-60.
And then the health center, if you don't have any money, you can still go to the health center, right?
So specifically at the Men's and Women's Center, like Damien had spoke of those day programs, like when folks are allowed to come in
doctors
during
are
the day,
here,
the
yeah.
doctors are available.
What
Yep.
about the clinic?
At Lawndale, you can come in for an appointment at Lawndale and work with their specific staff, and they'll be able to give you more information about
Yeah.
that. Mhm.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So Breakthrough is great. We really appreciate everything you all are doing. God bless you all. I see why you're growing, and if you continue to do God's work, you're going to continue to grow.
Amen.
Yes,
And
that's
get
our
big,
goal.
and
Yeah.
we're here to help you grow. We want to help you to continue to grow. I know the community love you, and I know there are a lot of people involved in Breakthrough, a lot of young people. So we really appreciate that, and I know you saving a lot of lives, because a lot of kids that go to Breakthrough aren't in the street.
Yes.
And they're not hurting each other. And it's a safe place for folks to, for $25, and I don't know how many months that program goes, but it's worth it to have your kids there. I'm sure you all, do you feed them when they're there in the evening?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So you feed them, so that's like $25 for what, 4 months?
4
So
months.
$25 for 4 months, and your kids eat, right? And somebody's taking care of them, and they making them do their homework, and they're getting to work out and play. That's a deal.
Yeah,
You can't beat
sure.
that, man. And they learning about God. You know what I'm saying? So they're getting morals, right? And so that's a blessing. So, you know, you living over in the Garfield Park area or the West Humboldt Park area, anywhere with 60612 or 60624, and you close to Breakthrough Ministry, please, you know, get your kids involved. I mean, if you worry about them being on the street, not having anything to do, let them get here, and it don't matter how old they are.
No, not at all.
From a small child to teenagers. They even take, you know, guys 20, 21, 22. And then, you know, if you got guys who just coming home and they need some help, send them Breakthrough, they work with them. And if you know, you got family members who's out there on the street, send them Breakthrough, they'll get some help, you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you and thank everybody for helping us to put this show together. I pray to God, by the time you see this, I'm reelected again. Thank you for electing me. If that's God's will, we really appreciate the opportunity to serve you. Appreciate organizations like this, so you all know these are the kind of organizations where my heart is, organizations that's out here really helping the people who need help. And those of you who's out there and God has blessed you to do well, please help these organizations, because I'm telling you, if they get any government money, it's very, very little. Very, very little. So we need to help organizations like this to continue to help people in our community. Thank you very much for watching Network 27. Thank you all for joining us. God bless you all. Keep up the good work. God bless you, and see you next month.